Well, I am the Reverend Dr. Jennie Olbrych, and I am a native of Columbia, but my husband John and I have lived in the Charleston area since 1979. When we moved to Charleston, we began attending St. James on James Island, where we are now, and really found a home. My own call started here, and actually I believe it started with an ECW chapter meeting. Those women were really, really encouraging. At the time, here at St. James, only 2 women had served on the vestry. Murray Lent was the rector at the time. He plugged me in as a lector. And more than once I had people say to me after I had lectured, "You may have a call." At the same time, when the Philadelphia 11 were ordained to the priesthood, I have to say, I noticed it. We were not very active in a church at that point. I grew up in the Episcopal Church. Confirmation for me was graduation, as it is for so many. I was followed by about 10 years of here, there, and everywhere in terms of searching for a faith. But then God called me back to the Episcopal Church. When the Philadelphia 11 happened, I think that was actually a piece of my being drawn back to the Episcopal Church. Because when I grew up at Trinity Church, now Cathedral in Columbia, women could not acolyte, girls could not acolyte, girls could not be a Christopher, women could not serve on the vestry. It was, pretty much a guys only show. And I remember just longing to be able to handle the holy things of God and to be a part of that. So the call itself, I think, came about as a result of feeling encouraged by the lay members here in particular, by Mari when I went and spoke with him about it. And then I went to see Bishop Allison, who was then our bishop, and he encouraged me. So then began the Commission on Ministry process, which was very daunting, and they were extremely concerned about the fact that I was married. They had given one other woman permission to go through the process at that point. That was Cindy Taylor from Sumter, and she was single. And they were just very concerned about the health, what impact this would have on our marriage, what if we had children, what was going to happen then. And John, God bless him, just got furious at them at one point because they were interviewing him separately. And he said, "Are you asking these other spouses these same questions?" And I think that they just didn't know what to do with that. At that time, I went through the process starting in about 1984. In 1984, we ordained our first woman to the priesthood here, and we did it on behalf of the Bishop of North Carolina. Her name was Connie D. Belmore. She was married to Kent Belmore. They were a clergy couple who were at Grace. And he was the associate at Grace. This was under Ben Smith, and she was called to be the chaplain to the College of Charleston. And that was our first ordination. Cindy was the first woman to go all the way through the process here and to be able to go to seminary. She went to Virginia Seminary. And then I was the second woman to go through the process here. And so Cindy served in our diocese for a time, and then she went to be a canon at the American Cathedral in Paris, and then she came back and she retired from a church in Augusta where she was the founding pastor. So she's a really fun career, but she did not come back to this diocese. Just makes my heart so happy, because women clergy bring a set of gifts to ordained ministry that, I'm not slamming the guys here, but, it's a complementary set of gifts that I think can really move the church forward. So I have great hope for these fabulous women who we have as our bishops, and especially Bishop Ruth. What a moment that was, her election. Just so elated about that. So yes, I'm encouraged. And I think our task as church is to continue to raise up whoever appears to have the gifts. And I think having men and women minister together gives a wholeness that reflects the body of Christ that otherwise wouldn't be there.